This week we begin a special 5-part series on the classic Universal monster movies as entrees to compliance. The compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short, curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. Today we have the most tormented of the classic movie monsters, the Wolfman. Larry Talbert's performance is incredible, and I know you will discern multiple compliance lessons from this version of the Wolfman. We begin with the obvious, that ordinary people can become great risks. The same is true in compliance, is that ordinary risks can become very damaging to a corporation. Larry Talbert is a decent man. He returns to his family estate. Nothing villainous, yet after having been bitten, he becomes something he cannot control. This duality mirrors what compliance professionals often see. Not every compliance violation comes from a bad actor. Sometimes it's from ordinary people under extraordinary circumstances, pressure, opportunity, or rationalization, i.e. the fraud triangle. 2, warnings ignored becomes disasters realized. Throughout the film, there are clear warnings. The locals whisper about werewolves. The Romani woman says even a man who's pure by heart and says his prayers by night may become a werewolf when the witchbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. These warnings are dismissed as folklore, superstition, or exaggeration. They are a failure of ignoring red flags. 3, the curse of silence and stigma. One of the most tragic elements of the Wolfman is Larry Talbert's isolation. He tries to tell others about what is happening to him, but he's met with disbelief, ridicule, or silence. The stigma of transformation keeps him from getting the help he needs. This resonates powerfully with the experience of corporate whistleblowers. 4, risk is cyclical and predictable. Talbert's transformation follows a cycle. The full moon triggers his change into the Wolfman. Risk is not random, it is predictable. Once you understand the pattern, you can anticipate the danger. 5, tragedy comes from the lack of intervention. This movie is at heart a tragedy. As Talbot's father refuses to believe him, he ends up killing him. Think about the Wells Fargo and their sales practices scandal, Volkswagen's emission testing fraud, or any recent FCPA action. In every case, someone knew, red flags were visible, yet nothing was done. What makes this movie so enduring is its humanity. Talbot is not a monster by choice, but by circumstance. He represents the vulnerability of all people, how under the wrong pressures, even the best of us can cross into dangerous territories. For compliance professionals, the lesson is not to hunt down bad apples alone, but design systems that recognize, support, and mitigate human weakness before it becomes destructive. Act before the full moon rises. Listen to warnings, protect whistleblowers, anticipate risk cycles, and intervene decisively. This is more than a Gothic tragedy. It is a case in compliance failure. The DOJ and SEC may not speak in the language of werewolves and curses, but their message is the same. Prevent risk before it transforms into something uncontrollable. Because once that transformation occurs and the Wolfman is loose, no compliance officer can undo the damage that has been done to your corporation. I hope you will take a look at this movie. It's really one of my favorites. The performance by all of the principals, Talbot, Claude Rains, 11 anchors are all great. Things that I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip, either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced